What is up, guys? FallenRedZeo here, and today we're doing some more DC Multiverse figures, and this time we've got the Shazam set of Shazam and Dr. Sivana from, of course, the new Shazam movie, which on the day this goes out is the day it's officially released in theaters everywhere, or at least here in America. So I was holding on to these until the release date stuff so we can kind of talk more about and stuff. Now, if you've seen the channel, I've already seen the movie. I have a review up, and then a spoiler review will be going up on this day as well, so you can check that out as well on the channel if you want to see it. But we've got Shazam and Dr. Sivana, so I will be kind of talking about, since this is the day, I will be kind of doing spoilers just to talk about, you know, stuff that happens in the movie related to these figures and everything. So just be forewarned that I will talk about that. But with this set, we don't have any collect and connect figures, so we don't have anything to build or anything. It's just these two individual figures, again, based off the movie. So we have, you know, the figure based off Zachary Levi, and then Mark Hunt, I think. I don't remember the guy's name for sure who plays him, but yeah, that's what these are based off. So let's go ahead and open them. We'll look at the figures individually, of course, like review them and see their movements and stuff as usual, and then I'll, like I said, tell you or talk about kind of their stuff in the movie. So let's get into it. So first up here is Shazam himself, or Captain Marvel, as I like to refer to him as his original name. But this is a figure, looks almost, you know, pretty close exactly to how he does in the movie. Not too far off. Obviously the face, which we'll look at, doesn't to me look exactly like Zachary Levi, but everything else does look straight out of the movie, which of course is what we're looking for in these type of figures. So let's bring him in close here. So here we've got to look at his face, and of course this is Billy Batson, of course the teenage kid that gets the power of Shazam though from the wizard, and then when every time he says Shazam, he turns into this giant superhero figure, adult, you know, guy looking like this, and so then he has the superpowers and everything of Shazam, which is a lot of electricity, flying, super strength, all pretty much a lot of stuff that Superman has is what he gets, and that's kind of like his whole thing here. So let's look at the figure itself. So here's a look at the face. In the camera, to me, it doesn't look actually too far off from Zachary Levi. I mean, his face does look a little more like chubby or chunky than it does in the movie and stuff, but like in real life, to me, the figure doesn't look much like him, but looking in the camera, like a certain angle, it kind of does. But we got his face there, so again, it's based off the actor and stuff, because that's obviously what this figure's based off. So that they did, I think, you know, pretty decent job. Not the best, but you know, as decent as they could for a cheaper figure and everything, so that doesn't look too bad. Then we go to his costume, which of course is the bright red with the yellow and gold on it, and then of course the cape as well, which I love when he has the cape on. I think it adds a lot to the design and everything. But we've got, as I said, the bright red costume, and as you can see, if we hold it up close, you can see the detail in the design, like texture that they put into the suit and everything. You can see it's got these lines here, it's got all the textured, which you can kind of see they're kind of like little tiny swirls and stuff, so I like that that is added into as well. He's got the giant lightning bolt, which, you know, has some electricity and stuff powers in the movie. His cape, as we said, the gold gauntlets, his belt here again with another lightning bolt on it, and then boots as well with some lightning bolts on it as well. And again, it just looks nice. So we have all the red, as you can see throughout it. Then we've got gold, you know, on the gauntlets, the outline of the lightning bolt. His belt, as you can see there, it's completely gold all the way around, completely gold boots, and then has some gold design here on the cape, which has white, so you can see it's the different layers. So we have a hood here, so that's kind of the design that's like all up into the costume design, if I can figure it out. So we got a hood there, so obviously in the movie and stuff, he can have the hood up. It's got class, you know, attached onto there. So he's got the hood that can go up, then he has this additional layer right under the hood that just kind of flops around. Then he has a more deeper actual cape that goes down, and again, I like this design of the white with the gold on it. I think that's a really nice and cool design. It does have a little bit of dirt issue going on there, but we can probably just get that cleaned off and stuff. But I like the whole wrinkling that they did of it. Looks, you know, how the cape would, but it is just plastic, it's not fabric or anything, so it is, you know, stiff and stuff. But I like this since it's actually attached and everything, better than like stuff sometimes Marvel Legends does. But for this and the multiverse, since as I've talked about before, I kind of like their versions better. It's hard to decide. I don't think they look as good as Marvel Legends, but I think they're kind of like articulation and movement stuff to me are a little bit better, and to me they're overall built a little bit better, but it, you know, varies usually figure to figure. So let's look at this figure. I will say is kind of very loose. It's kind of surprised me how like loose he is. Like, it's crazy how like high you can move, how much you can move his arm around. But we'll look at his head first. So head movements, it can obviously twist side to side and then do the nodding and everything. So that's all there's there. So we got the shoulder. So it looks like it's a joint that I can rotate all the way around. It flexes up and down you know, pretty much as far as it can go in the joints of the sockets there and stuff. It's got the bicep twist that can spin all the way around. It's got the double elbow joint there, so that as you can see it, you know, it's really loose, so it's not that hard to get pose and stuff. You know, he can, you know, really bend his arms up pretty far. That's, you know, a lot of movement and articulation stuff. I do really like that though there. He can flex now for I look at my muscles. But yeah, he's got that. Then, of course, has the hand movements, which has the flex, and then can spin a little, but of course part of the gauntlet there that sticks out is kind of in the way of that, so that's some limitations and movements there. Same obviously with that arm, don't need to look at it. Then he has the arm crunch, which has a lot of movements, so it can twist, and this is, you know, kind of loose unfortunately, so it can twist side to side quite a bit, and then it does have a lot of flexion back and forth, so he goes all the way that far back and then that far forward, so he's got a lot of movements going in here and can move quite a bit around. He does have, or at least it does have a waist twist there, as you can see. It's of course because of it's a little bit stiffer, and then when you try to move, the ab is the part that moves. So yeah, we do have that joint there. Then you can see there the bell, of course, and then we got the hips, which this hip feels a little bit stiffer, so I'm gonna try to be a little bit careful. Obviously you can move it out a little bit and then back, not much at all because it's already hitting the butt with the back of the leg there, but it does have the thigh twist, of course. Oh, there it goes out some like that. So again, the little thing holding in there looks a little bit off, so I don't want to try and move around too much because I don't know if I trust it too much. But yeah, it's got the thigh twist there, the double knee joint, which again is pretty loose, and there you can pretty much bend his leg all the way. So they have a lot of good movements going on in this. No movements on the shoe or leg, foot or anything, but there we got the shin is what I meant to say, but we do have the foot there, of course, that can twist, you know, side to side and back and forth again, which is pretty loose and everything. So of course with it being loose, it is harder to get the stand, but then with the looseness now, it's easy to get it to stand though, and you can then, you know, do poses and stuff pretty easily. The only accessories he comes with are hands, so we got some open hands, so if you want to do like the Superman flying hands, or klep as I like to say, with those kind of hands, or he's got the fist hands on, or he can also have grip hands, so I guess if he wants to hold on to something, you can switch them out with the grip hands as well, which are not focusing for some, but yeah, just grip hands there. And I do want to read from the box, which I do want to say the box has it says Billy Batson, but it says Bastin. It's spelled wrong, so I thought it's kind of weird to go on the box there. But it says Shazam. All it takes is the word Shazam for young Billy Batson to transform into the magic-powered superhero of Shazam. So again, that's kind of cool and stuff. And again, like I said, the movements on this figure are real loose and so not like perfect and everything, but I think it moves really well. And then, like I said, the posing stuff is pretty nice to be able to do, and how much the arms, you know, can move and legs and everything. So I like all the movements and stuff. I still don't think it's like the best looking figure, but I think a lot of the stuff going on here has made me like this a lot. But that's going to be it for the Shazam. Then next up we've got Dr. Sivana, which of course is the villain. And again, as I mentioned, I'm going to be doing some sort of spoiler stuff, especially with him, to kind of describe some of his stuff or whatever. So this is obviously the villain. He's the doctor who was a kid, you know, that went to the same, saw the magician stuff, the same that gave, or Shazam, wizard that gave Shazam his powers. That's why I hate saying Shazam, it's Captain Marvel. But anyways, he gave him his powers and stuff, but he, you know, as the kid did the bad thing, you know, kind of like had this choice put ahead of you. It's like, do this or you prove you're good or you're bad or whatever. He did the bad thing, so he got rejected, and so then he, you know, went on his life search to try and find back this place again and get the evil powers, which he ended up doing, which leads to his, you know, the way he is. And he pretty much has all the exact same powers as Shazam, as he has the powers in him. Of course, they can be taken out and turns back into a normal human and stuff, but as he has them in him, he pretty much on the same level as Shazam, so he can do all the same sort of stuff and everything. But let's look at the actual figure, and I'll go into more of that detail, which will start out here. So there's, of course, his face again. Looks like the actor, which actor, you know, just has a bald head and pretty plain face at the end. I can't remember his exact name. I said it earlier, but I don't know if that was his true name or not. But it looks, you know, pretty much just like him, which he's just a bald-headed guy. It's like a rip-off Lex Luthor almost, even though I know he's a true actual character and stuff. And usually I think is pictured as being a short person, but like in comics, but you know, he's just a normal average human in here. But he's just got you know, his bald head there, so nothing too fancy with that. Then he's just got in a normal suit because he's like a business type person, so he's just got a suit on, you know, jacket and everything. So nothing too fancy going on with him. He's kind of plain and boring. But as we can see in here on his face, which it's hard to see, he does have a scar over his right eye here, which, you know, goes above the eyebrow and then down below his eye. And he's got a blue eye compared to his black, which for this, all they did was take the eyes and then painted the like pupil area and stuff blue on this side instead of the black. But it should be the whole eye should be blue on that side to compare to the movie, and that's where his powers are. So when he goes to the, again, I don't remember the whole names of places and everything, but when he goes to see where the wizard Shazam is, the whole test thing is this blue ball that controls the 7 deadly sins, and so that's why as a kid he goes up and touches it when that's part of his whole test thing. And so when he does go back in the future, he takes the ball and the ball shrinks down and slams into his head and goes as his eye there, and so that's why he has the scar and everything. And so with that being in his eye, or in the place of his eye, he has the powers of the 7 deadly sins and can control them as monsters and stuff, and that's what gives him his powers. So if it comes out, then he turns back into a normal human. So that's part of all his powers right there in his eye. But going to the actual figure, we just got, again, his bald head there, and I think face and stuff wise does look pretty much like the actor, so that was a pretty good face sculpt there and everything. Then of course we got his jacket on, which has, you know, like a fur collar on it there, and then it's just a black leather jacket. As you can see, it's got the arms down here. This is like a leather plastic material, or I guess plastic, not leather, but is real thin, so it's easily like moves around and it's pretty soft and stuff. So I do like that, but it still has all the details. You can see the buttons, the pockets and everything, so I really think this is a nice looking jacket and stuff, especially for a figure. Then underneath he's got like a suit on, a blue suit with a double button thing there, a nice blue suit, again just looks like a normal suit, and then black dress pants, and then some black shoes there as well, some like dress style shoes. And then of course he has the tannish color undershirt there with the neck collar and stuff and buttons, as you can see there. So nothing too fancy with his whole look and everything. It's just, you know, his actual powers and everything. So let's look at movements. So of course the head can twist and nod. Their arm movements can move all the way up and down. It's pretty much exact same as Shazam. He's got the bicep twist, the double or single elbow joint this time, as you can see the different in design there on that. So again, obviously limitations there with that part, and then it can only been so far in. I did want to also mention that the jacket is just an over the top thing, so it looks, you know, kind of like vest like under there. You could take it off if you want to, but then it'd be blue into the black, so it doesn't really match, so it's just better to keep it on and everything. Then we of course have the hands, which can flex and twist around everything, all that sort of normal stuff. He has the ab crunch there, just a normal one, not too much movement on it, so that's as far back as he goes and as far forward, so not much movement at all going on there. A waist twist, as you can see the separation there in the line of the coat and stuff, does twist there. Legs can move out just a little bit. Of course the coat and stuff here, or the jacket, is the dress coat or jacket, I don't know what they're called, is limiting the movement though, so it can't move too far forward and backward. Does have the thigh twist though, it's kind of stiff, but it does have that movement in there. The double knee joint as well, as you can see, and then of course the foot can flex and bend a little side to side, but you can see the way the pant leg is designed to kind of limit some of the movement on it there, so not a whole lot can go into movements and everything. We'll look at some accessories. So here is an additional head that comes with, and so in the movie he has this head designed mostly where he's wearing the sunglasses, so you can switch that out if you want to, so it can look more like he does in the movie. Of course when he fights and stuff, his glasses come off and everything, but he does it to hide his eye and everything, so that's why he's got the face there with the sunglasses on it. He comes with some additional hands, fist hands, so obviously to be able to fight with Shazam and everything, he's got some fists there to punch. And then the last thing he comes with is an 8-ball, which when I originally saw this figure, I just thought, you know, it was like a pool 8-ball from the game Pool, but then you see in the movie it's a magic 8-ball, because I thought, you know, maybe just by this, so they come across a pool table, he picks a ball and uses it in his hand to punch, because that's like a fighting thing in bars and stuff, holding a pool ball and then punching, because it, you know, adds some more hardness to your fist and everything. But it turns out it's a magic 8-ball, because that's part of his whole thing, is this magic 8-ball and stuff, and asking it questions. So he has that, so you can probably just stick this into his hand there like that. Unfortunately, it's just a solid like ball and stuff. It doesn't have like the whole design of the magic 8-ball with, you know, thing on the back where you ask questions and it gives answers stuff, so you can put the 8-ball into his hand like that, so that's kind of cool. But that's really all that he comes with and stuff, so nothing too fancy beyond that. No weapons or electricity or anything like that, so kind of boring in that sense. But let's read the box real quick. It says Dr. Sivana has spent his life trying to access the Rock of Eternity, so there's the place that I couldn't think of, and acquire the wizard's power, but he is filled with greed and drawn to evil, as I mentioned with the whole eye thing and stuff. So that's going to be it for Dr. Sivana. So that's going to be it for this set of the DC Multiverse Shazam set of Shazam himself and Dr. Sivana, of course, the two characters from the movie. So that's going to be it for this review of the two figures. So I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget, on the channel we will have the spoiler review. We already have the spoiler free up on the channel, so you can check those out if you've seen the movie and want to hear our thoughts. It's kind of a mess and stuff, but the movie was kind of confusing at parts and I can't remember the names of stuff, so I had some issues with it. But that's on the channel, you can check out. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Leave a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to the channel if you want to see more figure videos pretty much every Friday. But I want to thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.